Unscripted Cincy. My name is Brent and you're joined with me by Dale Hathaway and Josh Vanstrien of the Covington Heist. Today we're going to get into some hot takes, some questions for Josh about the Covington Heist. Really just all things A7 this episode again. And with that, I'm going to let Dale take it away.
It's an honor to have you on the show. I always love playing against you. You're one of my favorite guys to play against. You are an absolute stud as an interior and exterior offensive lineman and as a nose on the defensive side of the ball. You kill it every time you go. You got passion, you got aggression, you got outwardly human strength. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling really good. Can't complain. Starting to warm up a little bit here, man. It's been colder than it can be lately.
Oh, yeah, man, you're absolutely right. We're just kind of starting to get out of that crazy cold spell that we just had. We had like 6 or 8 inches of snow here in the Cincinnati area here on late into the winter months, as one may say. So we're getting closer to the A7FL season. We're about 60, maybe 61 days away at this current point in time. So what we're hoping to see is a lot of aggression coming from the Covington Heist side of the ball this upcoming season. But in order to understand what brought them to this point, Josh, I'd like for you to give us a little bit of a history behind the heist and what the heist was before they were the heist. So, sir, if you could please take the floor and kind of give us a shout out and let us know what's happening here.
Yeah, sure. No problem, man. So the heist originally started out as an arena football team called the Warbirds. My buddy, Josh Bolzer, who I grew up with for a long time, reaches out to me. He's like, starting this football team. I was like, all right, what the hell does that have to do with me? And he says, well, I don't really know much about starting a football team, or I don't really know much about football either. And he's like, you played football for a long time. He's like, would you feel free to come out and help out a little bit? I came out there, and then, it was pretty much just a wreck to start off with. We didn't have much of a roster. We didn't have anything out, and then we got some guys, we got some coaches. We got to meet Brent, and we started developing this thing, man. At that time, when we're going to the Arena Football League, or sort of, I'm sure a lot of Arena Football Leagues are pretty disorganized, especially in the small ball. We were presented with an opportunity to join the A7FL. They said, we like what you guys have going on. You're organized.
And that arena ball, that was a former league, correct? Was it a league that kind of disbanded, and then as you were looking into getting the squad into another league, another division, this, if I'm not mistaken, this is what you found, right?
Yeah, this was a league that was just disbanding, had a lot of times communication. Getting schedules knocked down a lot of teams. A lot of teams have a problem with that in those leagues of getting teams together. No, they didn't lock down, and then so we're looking for a home, and we're looking for a new place to play arena. I got this opportunity from Joseph Perez. He messaged me. He's like, hey, you want to join the A7FL? He's like, what the hell is that? He's like, well, imagine football, but no pads. And I was like, all right, I'll ask the guys. And I was like, hey, guys, want to go play in the A7FL South Platte pads? And he's like, sure, why not? And that's pretty much that's what it is. And we joined right in. It was a fun time. It was really different to get used to without pads.
Yeah.
Really different.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I remember the very first time that we got to see you guys in action, because I believe that you joined our division a couple weeks, maybe like a month after we had officially formed ourselves as the QC Crush, and we all met over at Walnut Hills High School on their auxiliary field. And under Coach Steve, he organized like a scrimmage against us, and that was a lot of fun. Starting to figure out exactly how sevens was being played, and you guys had a very large roster even at that point in time, right?
We had a pretty large roster. It thinned out a little bit. I mean, there was a little bit of confusion from going from arena football to Ace NFL. You can ask Brent. One of our first practices when we made the transition, we had a guy actually show up in full pads, and he's got the helmet on, he's got the shoulder pads on. He's like, I thought we were playing pads football. I'm like, no. He's like, you're playing non-pad football. Of course, guy had no mercy. We're trying to get used to tackling for the first time, and I gotta go tackle this guy in plain clothes. This guy,
he's speed helmet on. He's splitting heads with the fucking face mask. I'm over here like, I'm standing there like, I ain't fucking doing this. Like,
Brent look at me like, he's gonna kill somebody, right? And I'm like, hell no.
Oh man, that is rich.
Then we had our practice at Walton Verona, and that was the end of Brent's mother's football career.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. Fortunately, part of the leadership process was that we viewed it internally. As you know, that linemen are a hard buck here. I turned over football operations to Harrison Henry, and stayed as sort of like a founding father of the team. And that's sort of where it developed into the history that we have, and that's how we started. Is that Harrison Henry, for a lot of people in this league, hate him, love him. He kept a good plan, keeping it organized, and I went right to the centerpiece of the line. Fortunately, having your line only being about £150 your first year is a big problem.
Yes, yeah, that definitely was kind of an issue. Although you guys played big ball, you didn't quite have the size on the line yet. I don't believe what Jacob May was with your team that year, correct?
No, Jacob May was with us for our second year.
Yes. So it was pretty much just you as being a big dude on the line.
Yeah, even in our second year, Jacob was more defensively. We wanted to keep it that way so that way he could be fresh on the defense and I could be fresh on the offense. Fortunately, that means me taking a lighter role on defense, which I'm sure you've realized in my first year was more centerpiece to playing D tackle and nose tackle, like a run stuffer guy.
Yeah.
We did a really good job against some of the bigger teams at like the Snow Tribe, but unfortunately, we just sort of decided that it's more valuable to split our possessions with some of the linemen that we had.
Yeah.
And a lot of our guys follow that structure too.
And then leads you into getting through the first season and then taking you to the Jersey game. Because if you think about it, Brent really fucked something up for us. All right? Brent and them Chaos guys, they really fucked something up for us. In outer division games, Ohio was undefeated. At least playing at home. But it's all in good spirit. It's all in good spirit. So you faced an extremely talented team. So I digress.
It's so funny because you sit there and you think about all they can be, and you can think about all that can come. And the first year was so competitive. You obviously had the Heist and QC fighting it out. It was a dogfight. Now you have this year where it's the Chaos and Heist. Unfortunately, the QC took a little bit of a step back. Of course, losing your head coach, which we're going through right now, huge difference. You really can't blame anybody from taking a step back from that. But coming into it, it was crazy because the last year was the funnest season I've ever had, where I sat there and it's like, these are the guys we want to beat. these are the guys we want to beat so bad. And I don't even know how they did that in the first year, because our first year, dude, we were just struggling to get guys to practice. I'm like, look, man, I will pick you up from wherever you work. I don't care if it's Taco Bell. I don't care if it's Columbus, man. Like, I will drive you there. We'll get in the back of my little Saturn Aurora. If it's 5 people, maybe. I had the whole line in my Saturn Aurora. We barely made up the hill. I remember that. I went and picked them up each in the visit. I knocked on their door like 3 hours before practice. They hated me.
But those are the things that keep a team together, man. It's a couple of guys that are willing to do that for the rest of the squad.
Well, I mean, being a captain was different this year.
Yeah, don't touch his quarterback.
Yeah, don't touch my quarterback. Don't. Oh God.
We should make
that team in the world.
We're gonna get the T-shirt made for you, man. We'll sell it on the podcast T-shirt show.
Well, I mean, I don't blame him for wanting to touch my quarterback, because Harrison just cannot shut his mouth. Harrison will get hit. Like, that didn't hurt. I'm like, dude, shut up. I have to block that guy for the whole game. But when they were voting captains, it was so crazy, because I asked them, they voted me, and Eric pulled me in, and he's talking about the voting, and he puts me in a group chat. He's like, hey, they voted me in captains. And I said, you guys in captains. I said, this is a horrible idea. I am the worst person to be a captain. I nearly get ejected every damn game. I was like, this is a horrible idea. And he's like, everyone damn near voted for you. And I was like, why? I got in the chat telling them, I'm like, you guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. But then, like, learning from it and taking some coaching experience, I realized that in my role in being a captain, I was never going to be the face of a franchise. It's not as a lineman. I'm not a very polished guy. I had to figure out my role in being a captain and being a leader is being the exact piece that fit when you needed it. Sometimes you need a guy to be the asshole in practice, the guy that's going to bruise you up, tough you up, that's going to talk shit to you, that's going to get on your ass for not showing up, and that's why I wasn't that role. Other guys, you need the goofy Josh, the funny Josh that's going to laugh and give you a slap on the ass, fuck around with you in practice. And sometimes you need the Josh that's damn near going to get ejected when your QB gets hit out of bounds and he's feeling down on himself. You see my big ass run's a strong word, but running across the field in that guy's face. Yeah, like a waddle. A little bit of a waddle.
When I get over there, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah, it's like
Dude, that cracks me up.
That's what you figure out is, like, real quickly, is like when you're not the QB, when you're like an offensive line captain, you have to be what they need. That was the thing that was different for me. You have to be sometimes a guy that's not going to be the friend. Sometimes you got to be the guy that's going to be the friend, but you got to be the glue. And anybody that plays offensive line knows you're the glue, you're the bodyguard, you're the guy that keeps it together.
Part of the field.
Yeah, I take that very seriously. I mean, you guys know, don't touch my QB. That's been my thing. I used to tell refs, I said, if you're not going to do your damn job, I'll make sure it gets done.
Wow, that's chilling.
So
strong man with some strong words.
John Clark, I think, is like 6'5", I'd say like 315.
Which I would say is a staple offensive line. That's pretty tough, But as to where, with that being said, you see spread types and also run option, which is a lot of the things, like, especially like say if Harrison wants to, sit this series out and see what Darrell's going to do at quarterback this series. So like running the speed option or running just the play action, whatever, insert here. Like running different schemes with different quarterback sets is definitely something that we're starting to see, at least, is becoming very important in the game. Two of the teams that were in the final three of the four Final Four teams that played right here in Cincinnati played it with a dual quarterback set. A traditional quarterback and a quarterback that was able to use their legs. So prove me where I'm wrong in saying that I genuinely believe, if not this year, next year, you're going to see probably every single team in our division with a dual quarterback set.
I'd say so.
Traditionally, I think there's a lot to be said, and this is the way the Heist operates, and we've operated more this way this year. We want to switch more towards the spread. We've obviously talked about running the ball because it's pretty essential. I mean, Chaos did it with such success last year. And no knock to your play making, but you guys have 4 or 5 run plays. We knew they were coming. We still couldn't stop it. That's great. That's when you have that efficiency. It's like if you know like the play's coming and you can't stop it, that's what you're going to see with those good running teams, and that's going to get you to the next level. But I feel like with our team strengths, we were a little bit lighter at line, so we understood that we need to play more to spread. And sometimes that can come to get you. The boogeyman can come to get you when you're rushing 4 and there's 3 linemen. If your running back doesn't know what they're doing, obvious toast. And it's hard for me playing that way too, because I feel like I'm a very good pass blocker. Maybe my run blocking could use the work, but if you could look at the film, I don't let up a lot of sacks. Well, I've been known for when I played in high school. I don't let up sacks. That's one of my biggest things, and it bugs me so much. It's really hard when you have a QB like Harrison. Harrison and Darrell, they're very close friends to me, I would say. With Harrison, I played with him so long, I could tell you, in my head, I can tell you when the ball is going to be released before he even releases it. He's got about a 4 to 5 second drop. And understanding that ball gets off, and I know that anything past that I know that pressure is going to be coming. So there's a lot to be said about the dynamic offenses and stuff, and I feel like Chaos and Heist really set the standard in our division for Heist is the passer and Chaos is to run it down your throat.
And now the Chaos and the Heist become even more entwined now with the hiring of Skylar Hurd. Are you able to speak more on that?
And I'm going to give Brent his props, and this is probably going to make him smile ear to ear. When you have 2 guys that did what they did in the first year and going all the way to the division championship, you sort of evaluate what you do. Because obviously I felt coming into the season, we thought we were the top team, and we got humbled real quick in our first game. And that was a point move for us in our second game, where it was a very close game. I mean, thriller, but you want part of that success. That's what you want. You want to bring in people that have done successful things. And I don't know the full chemistry of what happened back on there. I'm sure that Brent could tell me more of it, but Skylar was part of a very successful team, and we want him to bring that success for us, regardless of personal opinion. I think that it is something that he could do.
100%. And, everyone keeps asking me how you feel about Skylar. I wish him the best of luck. But I will say this. I think if he really thinks, I don't know exactly what he's doing at the Heist, but if he really thinks he's going to run that vanilla-ass, simple-ass offense, and I'm not going to stop it, he's got some shit coming for him. That's all I got to say.
Well, at the end of the day, you wake up, Brent, and you always do one thing, and it's the way it works for you guys. If you can do 5 things just really well in the football field, and you can do them efficiently, it doesn't matter what you run. Sometimes there's things that just can't be stopped. I mean, look at it this way. We put 5 in the box against you guys, and I like to view myself as a pretty football smart person. 5 in the box every play, every day our first game, and you still probably ran 300 yards on us.
That's just athletes at that point. That's just my opinion. That's just athletes at that point.
2 really good teams, I feel like sometimes it just comes down to the athletes. It comes down to the guys making the big plays, We know what's coming. We're football players. I mean, going up against Tev, Minji, Mike Mines, give them a lot of respect. I look forward to those matchups because sometimes I know Mike Mines probably watches film. He probably knows about 60% of our run plays are going to come off my ass. They're going to come between that B and C gap. He knows that. And he knows we're going to have to go against each other the whole damn game. And that's what I love. I love that one-on-one. It's like it's me versus you, man. And sometimes he's gotten the better of me. Sometimes I've gotten the better of him. But you go against those athletes like Tev, Mines. I live for that.
Yeah. And they do too. The one thing I can give all 3 of our teams is we're not afraid of competition. Whether we lose, whether we win, we're going to go out there and we're going to, bust our ass. One thing I do want to kind of side note on is I would like to say that Robert Minji is coming back to play this year for the Sin City Chaos. He wasn't going to play. He was just going to help me coach. But with that being said, viewers, listeners as well, if you guys could please say a prayer, whatever you guys do, for Robert Minji's dad. He is currently battling bladder cancer, and they just removed 10 cancerous tumors off his bladder, and they are basically waiting to see if any more come. So, sidetrack of all that, Josh. Let's get to the meat and bones of this.
Brent, please, before we move on, please let our team know. Obviously, I have my personal information. If there's anything that we can do to help him through that tough time. Obviously, I'll say it pretty bluntly, fuck cancer. We've all lost somebody from it. If there's anything that we can do as an organization, I'll make sure to spread to the guys and see if there's something we can do to help.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, us as well on behalf of the QC Crush.
And so, Josh, what's the Covington Heist looking like this year, my guy?
Obviously it's too early to tell. It's always too early to tell. We have a lot of good prospect guys coming in. 8-Ball, Hayden, Courtney, some good linemen.
Hold on. How about returning players? Because we've been hearing a little bit that the Seth Chambers is or is not playing this season.
Seth Chambers is playing.
Okay.
God,
nice.
Love that.
Good. Glad to see that he's back.
Personally, I think a lot of guys are very excited this year. Obviously, to go against Chaos, obviously to go against some of the newer teams. A lot of talk in the chat, especially from leadership, about showing up and accountability. And those are things you got to nail down at the beginning of the year when practicing. You're seeing a lot of it. You're seeing a lot of guys, finally getting their schedules ready, getting things up. Obviously, we're in a transition between head coaches right now. We got a couple coaches that are on our roster where we haven't crowned one as the head coach. And that's where a lot of us together, the vetted players and captains, are coming together and organizing things. It's a tough transition. Eric did a great job.
To touch up on that whole coach situation, I actually seen that you guys added on the 3 coaches of the Sin City Bucks semi-pro organization. With that being said, how do you think that their knowledge and years of coaching is going to transform over to the A7FL style ball that we play?
It's never good to talk about the future without knowing what's going on for sure. You always want to be mutual. You always want to have room in your head for disappointment and improvement. I think that they're good guys. They seem very knowledgeable of football. But I think that it's been proven that it's very hard to come in here and design schemes compared to real football to 7-man football. It's a completely different scheme from it. That being said, as long as they're dedicated home to the craft, which I believe they are, I don't think that we'll have any problem catching the ball up on it. Everybody's ran 7-on-7, but it's different having 3 linemen down instead of 5. Can't do as much. And, that's where some of our talent expansion comes into. I think that talent-wise on the offensive line, we were very limited on what we could do because we were very predictable in a run situation where now if we have more talent on our offensive line, it allows the span of what we can do to be different things. Obviously, it's not very whom of a team to run a jet sweep when your right guard's 320 pounds and runs maybe an 8-second 40. Not a great idea. But this year where we have Hayden, who's a very athletic type of guard, maybe that's something that can be in our arsenal. And that's what they're going to have to work with. They're going to have to adjust with skill level. And you got to line up and do that same shit again. You got to have toughness. And sometimes you tell that guy, too, he's like, I'm doing this all day. I'm here all day for it. And some guys, that's just not for them. And I don't blame them. It's mental.
You got to do like Clamp, who gets rocked, and then gets back up and barks in your face. It's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, we gotta do this again? Come on.
Well, that's what that's what I said, man. Like, you get to for a lineman perspective. There was this thing like a CT study. I hate to bring CT because nobody wants to think about that in non-contact football. Running backs probably get hit maybe about 20 times a game. You know, quarterbacks maybe 10 to 15 on a bad day. Offensive line, defensive line, if you're playing both ways, is getting hit every single time to the head by somebody else, full force to your body.
Constant.
Play against a guy like Mike Mines, or play against a guy like I'm going to have to play against him now, even though he says he hates me, but he knows he's one of my best friends, Jake. You know, I'm going to have to play against a guy like Jake, where I'm going to have to hit him every time. I told him, like, I'm going to have to get creative, dude, because by halftime, I'm just going to fall at your knees. I'm just going to fall out. I'm going to grab a leg.
And that's the thing, like, that's what these young guys don't understand is, like, these vets are very crafty in the ways that they can hit you and get you in your pressure points and take you down. I'll never forget when we were all gassed down in Florida, it was probably like second or third series. I ran right into a nose tackle. He had all the opportunity in the world to just tackle me and take me down because he is huge and I was running right into him. And instead of doing that, he literally just elbowed me right in the fucking thigh. Oh, God, it hurt so bad. I fucking went down to the ground, like, instantly. It pretty much took me out, gentlemen.
Oh, man. I'll never forget when we were playing against you guys. I think we were getting to you guys pretty good. I don't mean to blow about that, but I think you guys reached a point, too. And you guys put that big-ass lineman to return those kicks. And I sat there, and I was like, how in the hell are we going to take this big-ass dude down? And I'll never forget, 110-pound Mick, they both had his legs on the kickoff return. Mick just jumps up like almost like a Superman punch and just grabs this dude from like 5 feet away. Mick just said, we heard him say, fuck it, and just go dive from like 5 yards away in this dude. They both have his legs and they're just wrangling them down. I mean, a 6-foot man.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like we let Jew get away, unfortunately. I believe that he's a member of the Chaos this season, or at least it seems that way. But, yeah, what other opportunity are you going to let a big man return a kickoff like that? So get this, we're looking towards the future of the heist and the organization. It sounds as if you guys are starting to get into practices. You guys are starting to assimilate a team. Everyone's getting the schedule going. You got about 60 days to get prepared. And, well, now that I have the schedule up, how about we just go through it? So we're looking at the Covington Heist, the new look Covington Heist. I'm digging it, by the way. So it looks as if you're opening up your season on March 24th. And you guys are playing the Indy Octane. So what are you guys expecting to see out of the first team on your ticket for this season?
It's unpredictable, as always. I won't sit there and diss another organization, what they've done, and nothing about them. That being said, I think that they need to take a cold look at what happened in Columbus last year with the chaos and the heist in the town. Very obviously prepared organizations. You know that we've built a brand of football here in Cincinnati. I'm sure that we all take pride for. We're not as big as Baltimore or Vegas, but we're mean. You know, that's one of our slogans. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care for anybody in Vegas or Baltimore. If you're listening right now, seriously, go fuck yourself. I don't like any of the teams out there. I think they're all trash talkers. I think they give us so much hate when they're announcers. I honestly hate both sides.
Wow. That's fucking great.
Even the announcers from the Chaos, when they were playing Vegas, they were so biased. Like the announcers were talking crap.
Shit about us in the game. I'm like, y'all still gotta fucking commentate, man. Like, you don't see NFL teams or college teams sitting there like, this team's just god awful.
Yeah.
They can't in Baltimore. You know why people talk shit? When it comes down to it, it's a fear sometimes, I feel like. I feel like a lot of people, it's not all the time, but talk shit out of fear. You know, if you feel like you have to trash our teams because you think your team is so much better, you got a rude awakening coming, buddy. I mean, even then we go down to Florida and we get these refs, and I'm sure you saw in Columbus that barely know the rule books. You know, they barely got guys showing up the field. They got guys showing up the field 10, 15 minutes before. None of our guys in Cincinnati do that. That's not proper etiquette. I'm sure none of the guys in Vegas do that too. So, you know, to get disrespect and get disrespected by, you know, it wasn't even my team. You know, it's a Chaos' team. But see them get disrespected by an announcer who's supposed to be an initial neutral force, that just tells me, it's like, dude, I want to travel back to Baltimore. You know, you got to beat us when we were fresh, sure. All right, you got to beat us when we're fresh. So, you know, and maybe they whoop our ass. I don't know, but I would like to go out there and just, you know, play snow trap game, just punch them right in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I think we're going to go to Indy, too. We're going to go with that introduction. It's like, nobody was easy on us when we started.
You're exactly right. And, you know, nobody showed us the way how to play A7s. We had to figure out on our own. And we did have luck early. We had luck hosting teams in from out of state. We didn't travel well. And then, obviously, you get into the second year, and instead of them sending the Cincinnati division teams to play with the big dogs, we all beat up on each other, and then Chaos won the gauntlet, and then they played the best of the West Coast division, which they did travel very well. But with that being said, as the different things that you're looking at travel, I could be wrong, but let's see. So you do have 2 away games. All right, so that makes sense. So Indianapolis Octane at Covington Heist, March 24th at 4 p.m. Then your very next game, you're going to be playing the QC Crush on April 7th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Then we're rounding off at April 14th. You're going to be you will be at Columbus Whitehall Yearling High School to play the Columbus Explorers at 7 p.m. for a night game. Then April 21st, 2024, 4 p.m. at Woodward, Sin City Chaos versus Covington Heist. April 29th, 4 p.m. at Columbus Whitehall Yearling High School. You'll be playing the Linden Guard Dogs at 4 p.m. May 5th, your last final season game. The Olentangy Volcanoes come into town, and they're going to be playing you at 4 p.m. So we're going to go ahead and just crown all them out-of-town games dubs, right? Is that kind of the mentality that you're at? Let's see. You host Olentangy. You go to Linden, which is Columbus. And then you go to Columbus again for the Explorers, but then you host Indy.
Sure, Brent gets it. With those Columbus and those Indianapolis guys, they're like the little brothers. You can't let your little brother punk you. Getting just to the league, you know, it doesn't matter how old your little brother is. It doesn't matter if it's 15 and 7. Your old brother tries to get to work on Xbox, you're going to beat the shit out of him on Modern Warfare 2, right?
I can't even lie to you. When we play Indy, that's all I gotta say, man. When we play Indy, man, we're gonna either make or break them. Let's just put it that way.
Can I take it back? I don't mean to sidetrack. I really just want to understand the story. You know, because it's been a lot of me talking shit about these teams, and you guys can tell I don't feel kindly about Baltimore and Florida. By the way, Brent, whoever is that buddy boy that does podcasts for you guys, I think he's from Florida. He's always commenting. You know who it is? He shares Facebook posts all the time.
Tyler.
Huh?
You're talking about Tyler's?
Maybe. It's one of those guys. I want to make it very clear. I don't like him either. Gotta run the line. Don't ever talk to me ever in a serious format. You are an idiot.
Oh man. That's a nice spicy take there.
I did not like him at all. I think that shit. He always gives us like biased scores. Like he posted that scrimmage, which me and you both know. I think it was like a close run scrimmage. I think it was like 14 to 14 the way we were running the scrimmage. And he posted some stupid shit. And even you said it was stupid. It was like 32 to 14. Chaos wins. I'm like, dude, it wasn't even scored.
Oh yeah, how about our boy Milk who ran up 49 to fucking 6 Chaos versus Crush this spring. Oh, man. 2 plus 2 equals 4 last time I checked.
Maybe that's the guy. Maybe this guy, like, I don't know what type of football you're watching. You must have the Quidditch scores or some shit because that's not a real football score. I think like just has no clue in the situation. But and I know it's your boy, man, but like God, I can't stand that. Show a little bit of respect. You know, don't lie on shit you don't know about.
He's just media, bro. That's all it is. Media is media. On to the Milk conversation a little bit. That man's going to struggle in Vegas, brother. Oh, my God.
Well, see, they don't even have a fall team because they're probably going to get assimilated. They had a short roster to begin with, and then they're probably going to be assimilated from one of the other teams that haven't since claimed. So was it like the Hunters don't have a team yet? He's gonna have a very, very tough schedule against very good talent, very good talented teams. The Insomniacs over the top, and sick with it. I would say they're all gonna have very, very good rosters this season.
Quality teams. I agree with that.
And that's also to double down on something that may or may not have been hit in the last podcast, and we did kind of brush over lightly. You know, Derek Duncan is using, and I believe that he's using his assets in a very good way in order to help promote not only the brand on a level at the Las Vegas, in the Nevada and California areas, but also on a national scale. They have definitely taken the league by storm. And I would definitely say there's a lot that can be said as to how he's running his division and also, obviously, how Joseph is running our division as to, like, it would be like a gold standard comparative to, and it may or may not have been a spoof joke or not, but who did the GoFundMe for the tents for A7FL Florida? I mean, oh man, that was fucking great. That was awesome. That was a pretty awesome stuff. And then nobody donated.
I hate them.
That's tough. But no, as for like, yeah, I mean, I know all too well myself how shitty it is down there and how hot it can be. But I'm sorry, go on, gentlemen.
No, you're fine. You forgot.
So I could kind of tell they were kind of getting on Corey a little bit pretty early on in that episode, but Corey's a good sport. He was able to handle it well. They even had Big Rob call in too, and they were kind of thinking that the BIC now with so is it the BIC is going to be adding Mark Bagway this season.
Mark Bagway.
It's pretty crazy to think that. And then Quattrell Huff is leaving Silk City, coming back to the U. And he was kind of saying the assimilation and the forming of those two super teams, does that leave the Watchmen behind in the dust coming out of that Eastern division? What do you guys think?
If you've ever watched Mark Bagway play, and I don't.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it live.
I don't want to
more than once. Sorry.
Say again?
I'm sorry. I've seen it live more than once. I had to be a witness the first time, and then the second time I was lucky enough to be a bystander.
There's a lot of terms that I don't use. I don't mean to. I'm not going to meat ride no man, but that guy's special. That really is. He brings up some him himself brings something special to the team. And BIC, where you already have a star-studded roster, that would definitely put them as my favorites to go out and win that division and leave the Watchmen behind. Yes.
See, I don't really know because I haven't really heard too much about the Watchmen yet this offseason, but I will say my favorites coming out of the East is definitely Patterson U. I think BIC are really making a strong team, but I think Huff coming back to the U is really gonna get some shit going for them. Huff being this past season's MVP.
I believe he is the GOAT. In the 10 years of the league, he is the gold standard. He is the Brady of this
league.
He
is the gold standard of an A7 NFL quarterback, and I think having that on your team it's going to be crazy. I'll be honest, boys. I'm so excited to see where this season goes. Not only in our division, but just in all the other divisions as well. Like, are the Insomniacs going to remain unbeaten? Who the fuck's going to beat the Insomniacs?
Yep. And I did hear that they slightly reconfigured exactly how they're going to be breaking these teams off. Seems as if, I hope not, but it seems as if it's going to be the same situation for us as to where we get to fight our way out of our bubble and then go get to play teams in the other divisions. How do you guys feel about possibly the league in the 2025 season developing into regular season games out of your division? What do you guys think about that? Is it good or is it bad because of traveling and things of that nature?
I think it's needed. I think it's needed because, each division plays different style football to where, Cincinnati is more of a defensive, smack in your mouth, football compared to, Vegas is more of an offensive style football. I'd say Jersey is just kind of rough around the edges on everything. And then Florida is definitely an offensive first division, in my opinion. And I definitely think that it's needed, man. Like, I think we need to experience all different styles of how this league and game is played, and the only way to do that is to play the teams.
And it creates less arguments because there is a litmus test as to, oh, well, these guys played the U. Oh, well, these guys played the U as well. Or like, oh, these guys played the Nova Charge. And then, oh, well, the Crush played the Nova Charge, which I'm all about battle of the transitive verbs. If the Nova Charge wants to meet us in Morgantown, West Virginia, we'll be ready for you. You guys come on out. We'll host you. But with that being said, though, let's move into the differences between the semi-pro organizations that are local to us compared to like obviously the league that we play in, all three play in the A7FL. The fact that there is a prize cash incentive involved, also the ability to be able to travel to different places, whether it be Vegas, Baltimore, Florida, and it just so happens to be we are lucky enough to play the national championship right here in Cincinnati, Ohio this season. Why would somebody put the pads down and come over to the A7 side of things? Josh, you first.
Well, to be honest, man, I feel like sorry, 1 second. To be honest with you, man, it comes down to this, and I'm actually taking part with a semi-pro organization this year, the Wolfpack, and they seem very organized. And, that I feel like that is a rarity between semi-pro teams. I feel like it is so much money to get people to pay money for pads, pay money for join these organizations, then creating your own schedule with other organizations if you're not in the league, and then just getting nothing out of it. Whereas you come into Ace NFL, it's a very motivated organization with a good parent group that supports you. A shout out to Joseph Perez and Aldrin. It's doing a really good job in helping us manage the league and helping us develop teams. We came into an organization where the refs, have been improving and have been doing better in the Cincinnati division. You're going to come to an organized product because you get what you put into. And as far as I'm concerned, name a semi-pro organization that's been operating longer than 30 years without at least scrapping 1 or 2 years. You can't because it's so inconsistent. I guarantee you the Ace NFL is not going to scrap in the next 10 years. They're going to keep on going. They've been doing well. And the life goes on. Semi-pro is not like that. Life goes on here is competitive. There's a prize. There's something to work for. Semi-pro is just not.
Yep.
And scouting. Scouting's way better in Ace NFL if you're trying to go pro than semi-pro. Sorry, it just is.
Well, that's the thing is to where this is a stepping stone to the AFL. This is also a stepping stone to the Combine as well. We have been told that different organizations within the A7FL, and I am allowed to say this information now, are going to be sending players to the National Combine in Indianapolis this spring. Haven't seen a lot of guys leave the local semi-pro organizations, and maybe it's because I am blind to the facts. But I haven't seen a lot of those guys leave and then go get a salaried football position. Usually this is like a final stopping point for a lot of those players, right?
And what I can say is, one reason why I would take off the pads and play in this is, well, really a few reasons. One, it's been proven by top-of-the-line doctors that this shit is a lot safer for you than padded football. Two, the viewership, the opportunity to get your name out there is unlike any semi-pro organization, league, anything that I have seen. Fuck, boys. We're literally in partnership with the Arena Football League.
It's a big step.
You don't get that. Your games aren't your games aren't filmed every single weekend. There's a lot of opportunity that this league has that, people just I don't know. They just don't want to commit to it. And what's crazy about it is, we were a first-year team last year, and I've had a couple players on my team, Hope and Clamp. They got offers to go play overseas before the season was even over. And it's like, Clamp been playing semi-pro for, say, 8 years now. Never got that opportunity or shot doing that shit. But then, Pope been playing, I'd say about 3, maybe 4 years. Plays A7FL 1 year. Posts three or 4 A7 videos. 150K followers on Instagram. 50K followers on TikTok. He's blowing up because of this league. And I think that it's nice that we have a opportunity to put guys in that situation. But the problem is you can't force these guys to take it, and that's the main problem I have. But I would say that the A7FL, just in the 10 seasons that it's been around, are levels above what these semi-pro organizations are.
Yeah, I would agree. We're more likely to absorb another one of these leagues and make them a part of us rather than the other way around. This is like a nationally known brand. They're all great organizations for leagues, but I don't believe that they have the best film. They don't really make their film as accessible as it should be. They lack the ability to promote players, maybe just because there's a lot going on at once. And that's no direct shot at anyone individually, but that's just exactly how it's going. Exactly as to the fact that you said, Brent, someone posts 4 fucking videos on Instagram and he gets overseas offers. He's been playing in that league for 3 or 4 years. So,
and it's
upper leadership structure too. Going into this, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like our teams communicate very well with each other. We have a commissioner who's very communicative. I mean, we coordinate scrimmages between each other all the times. Sometimes we give each of our players information that are departing the team, so they want to go to another team. Help get players the rosters and help fill out rosters. Some teams aren't in cahoots with that, but our commissioner has an equal mind for every team. Whereas semi-pro, it's very much it's like your organization, you're for yourself. Good luck, buddy. If you scrap, oh well. Or with us, that brotherhood you have between coaches. I have a lot of faith that the chaos would, or even our organization level, our team will try to step into high school is about to scrap for some reason. Be like, hey, what the hell's going on in our schedule? We need you to step it up. We need you to get organized. Like, it just wouldn't be okay if a team no shows in this league. It wouldn't happen. Brent would be knocking on our door. He'd be knocking on my door.
I mean, he's like, hey, came and played up like Columbus with 7 dudes. They giving up isn't in our vocabulary, and I will say, kind of to add on to that is, I will say us as a division, we all, for the most part, communicate pretty well with each other. We're all not going to get stronger as a division, as teams, as individuals if we don't, have that camaraderie around, because, at the end of the day, iron sharpens iron, and that's why, not this the Heist, but I've been asking the Heist since November 22nd if they want a scrimmage, just so we can see where our teams are. And then I get told I'm captain, and then I pull up my receipts and I get crickets. And it's like, how am I supposed to get better? How are the Heist supposed to get better? How are the Crush supposed to get better if we don't scrimmage?
Saving that one, haven't you? Saving that one.
Well, yes, no. Well, yeah, we got a hypothetical scrimmage possibly set up. Hopefully everything gets worked out. There's definitely some details that need to be done and finalized. But I'm hoping that we can
call it a day.
I'm hoping we can squeeze in one more with everybody to be there this upcoming month of February. So hopefully everything works out.
From now, I don't know if the future for me is playing or being some sort of administrative level. I've always thought about announcing or being like an assistant coach. That was all I was supposed to do with the Heist and just being an offensive line coach. I've always sort of wanted to go back to helping organizations grow. I think I love the Heist, though. I have so much loyalty for them. That's the problem. It's like, I can't leave.
Are we hearing that 2025 Josh Vanstrien is going to start the Cincy Sevens?
God, no.
Oh, man, that would be epic.
I would take a slow admin role with the Heist before. I believe that shit, man. I love the Heist. I love everybody on the Heist. I love people, my brothers. But I mean, it's like getting, like I said, you take all those hits every day, man. And you think about how nice it would be to be up
wake up on a Monday and be able to fucking
out of his jacket, just watch coaching football. You know what I mean? Instead of being on the field in some uniform that they made way too tight that shows my kidney.
Unless you're Brent Smothers and you're screaming up and down the field and running and fucking, man, I'm getting done with the game. I'm over here sore like I just played a football game. I'm like, God damn, man.
Yeah, maybe it's best if you just want to retire to just walk into the sunset. This is just gonna keep your blood pressure going, brother.
God, I swear, I'm on verge of heart attack every game. Game's over. I'm like, all right, what's up, boys?
This last year was actually supposed to be my retirement year. They talked me out. I'm sure you saw a little bit of the emotion I had in the last game.
Yep.
Very emotional. I thought it was my last game. I took a really hard hit. Had a pretty bad concussion. At the end of it, I thought that was it. My wife was pretty much just like asking me not to play this year, but dude, I can't. I love this team. I'll show up till I can do it. And in the morning, when I can't do it, and someone replaces me, I'm gonna be involved with some other way. Like I said, I love this shit, man.
It's funny that you say that because you're looking at this year being year 2024.
Developing a lot, and you give kudos if you're not following what Brent Smothers is doing right now. If you're not following what they're doing in Vegas right now, you are already behind the curve. And to see that develop and to see that stuff develop so rapidly, and now we're starting to get bigger linemen. I hope that I don't have to play and go out there, but I will. And you think that I'm gonna whine and cry about it? I will. I will be the meanest, nastiest dude on the field. But it would be nice to crave a day one day where I can just go in and I don't have to have my wife calling me 50 times in a game watching. It's like, are you okay? And it's like, yeah, I'm fine. Tev's listening to he clothesline me one time. It's like, oh yeah, we're all cool. He's like, how are you even cool with people like that? Or they try to take your head off, and I'm like, man, it's a brotherhood. I mean, you don't get that. It's all that emotion in my last game because I really did play with everything that I had in that last game. And I thought that was it, man. Like, I just can't let it go. I can't let it go till I get a ring. That's the hardest thing for me is I can't let it go till I get a ring. And that's one thing I got to tell my wife.
I know, right? Should have had one made for myself.
I'm like, you guys have all won. I'm like, you guys have all won. Participation.
Yeah. Oh man, that's fucking great.
We're doing absolutely nothing.
That's how I feel when I see dudes who like have like 20 fucking rings,
well,
and it's like,
I'm glad that we could get here because the one thing that I would give you guys kudos for is as much as I've argued with you guys, talk shit with Brent, you on the field, where it's it's been vile. That we can all sit down side to eyes and we can. This is Cincinnati. That's what brings me pride. This is Cincinnati. This is not Florida hosting a goddamn podcast and bringing up all some bullshit, making up invisible scores, 77.5 to 5, chaos wins. This is Cincinnati. This is pure Cincinnati. This is our time. This is fuck Baltimore, fuck Vegas, fuck Florida. I don't want to go play in the sandbox again. This is us, and that's something I'm proud of. I will say that I'm proud of everybody for it. This is us. This is 100% us. Now it's our time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It all starts right here, man. We're helping giving these young guys and these older vets like you and I a voice that we're able to display our message, not only to the guys that are listening in our league, but also the prospective fans and guys that are looking on the outside and thinking that they want to be a part of it. If you were thinking at one point in time that the A7FL is for you, then I would highly recommend doing some research, trying to become a part of one of these three great teams in the Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky region. In Josh's team with the Covington Heist, please get in contact with him, obviously with me, with the QC Crush, as well as Coach Bird, and then obviously with Coach Brent Smothers as well as for the Sin City Chaos. Anybody's interested in any information regarding the league, how to become a part of a team, is it too late to join a team? How do I view the games? How is it that I'm able to get there? Can my baby sister's mama come to the game with me? All of those questions can be answered by us. We're more than happy to do that for you. So, with that being said, we are starting to get to that point in our show where we're starting to get to the end. So I just want to give a quick couple of minutes to Josh, and I'd like for you to tell me what you're looking forward to this upcoming A7FL season, and go ahead and give it to me straight, man. How do you think that you're going to fare out in the regular season as well?
I don't do defenders. With that being said, I did all this talk about me riding into the sunset. I'm this old vet now, apparently. That Dale's words, I never said I was old. I ain't never going to say I'm old. I may be losing my hair. But if you think for 1 second that I've softened up, if you think you're a D-tackle and you think that I'm softened up, that you're not going to come in here and I'm going to try to knock your teeth down your throat every play. That's not what I'm gathering here. I'm paying my respects. I'm giving you due. you come through me to get to that heist offense. And that's what it's going to be. You're going to come through me, whether you like it or not, and I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to go after you. And that's the motto of the heist, man. We're going to go after you. You know, whatever. We lost last year to Chaos. Okay, big whoop. Whatever. I'm not scared. I'm not baring my teeth a little bit. I'm going to go after you. And if you think that that's not what's going to come to you, you think that's not going to come to you in Indianapolis, Columbus, you think that I'm going to welcome you into the league and smile? You know, I'm not. I'm going to play mean, physical brand of football because that's what I know how to do. I'm going to try to put you on your ass every play. I'm going to embarrass you in front of everybody that's watching. That's my whole goal. My whole goal is to tear you down, and we can be friends afterwards. But do not take this for 1 second as weakness, because I swear I will come after you, and I will try to embarrass you in front of everybody you love on camera.
Yep.
I do not give a shit.
You're exactly right. That's exactly how this league is played, man. That's exactly how this division is. It's tough. Cutthroat. But you are a staple of this division, sir, and we would like for you to be a reoccurring member of this podcast as a guest host, player interviewers, however it is that you'd like to do it. But we would always love for you to be our liaison with the heist. So as we bid you further adieu, my name is Dale Hathaway. I'm here with Josh Vanstrien as well as Brent Smothers, and we're signing out from Unscripted Cincy. You guys have a great rest of your evening.
And bring the chaos.
Heist up.